Good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Saxe. And I think it's October the 10th, 2021. And we've got a fabulous song. So you all help me sing this, then the parts you know, and then you can make up your own words if you want to as well. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, she don't miss a tree. And an old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Thank you.
Let's take a deep breath together. Inhaling in, exhaling. Inhale again. Exhale. Relaxing body and mind, spirit and heart. Opening up. Preparing ourselves for an experience together this morning that will be different and special because of those of us who are sitting here in the room, the energy that we bring, the love that we are, for all those who are watching us remotely. For we are all one, connected irrespective of time and space. Each of us, a very special part of this fabric that is life. That is love. That is peace. That is goodness. And so we allow ourselves to drop into our heart space now, knowing that in the moments ahead, there will be something for each of us for our lives. Something that will help us step more fully into our divinity, to claim and embrace who we are, to express what it is we were born to express in this world at this particular time, for it is no accident that we were born in this time and in this place. And so we come together into community to support each other, to hold the space for each other, to love each other where we are, to see ourselves and each other with the eyes of our divine self, so that we can continue to create heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. And so as we breathe together and relax together, we know that we are one. We know that we are instruments of the divine, expressing that love in this world in ways that only we can express it. And so with hearts full of gladness, and with all power and strength that is ours, we now sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore.
Will you join me in our children's blessing? Children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. And our inspiration for today is from How to Use Your 12 Gifts from God by William Borch. And our word is faith. Faith without belief is like having a fortune and forgetting where you put it. Everyone has the gift of faith, but not everyone has an active faith. Belief is the activator of faith. When you believe your good can be drawn to you, your faith moves it into expression. That is why affirmations may need to be repeated many times until you believe them. When your subconscious accepts your affirmation, you, as a spiritual being, give God permission to move through you into fulfillment. Will you repeat this with me for 3 times? I activate my faith with belief and draw my good from the invisible to the visible. I activate my faith with belief and draw my good from the invisible to the visible. I activate my faith with belief and draw my good from the invisible to the visible. Thank you.
Some of y'all might know this song, so you can sing along as well.
Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. All you soldiers of peace, hatred has an enemy. If we want the fighting to cease, remember these words from the fallen king. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. We all must try to be an instrument of peace. Remember, an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind, and our children never see. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred. Only love can do that. And only love can heal. And only love can take the fear away. And only love is real, and only love will come to save the day. Darkness cannot drive away darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive away hatred.
So, one of my pet peeves is when I have a hole in my sock and your toe sticks through. And you take off your shoe and you just got this big old toe sticking out of the sock. And it's just, I don't know if that's my pet peeve or it's just something, because my mother always said to us, if you get in an accident and you got holes in your socks or your underwear is ripped, don't tell them you belong to me. So maybe that was really just some message that's been in my head all of these decades. But my mother taught us how to sew when we were very young, and what we would have to do is if we had a hole in a sock or a rip in something else, we were taught how to mend it. And first of all, that was, a good skill to have. You rip something, then you mend it. You don't have to go out and buy something else. But it also taught me another very important message, that we don't always discard things, relationships, people, walk away from situations quickly without perhaps taking time to mend them, to spend time with them, to fix them. Because it does take extra time to sit and decide, well, I could just throw this sock away, when just a little bit of time and care would take care of the problem and allow you to wear that sock without a big old toe sticking through it. Or to even mend it sooner than later, and it's a small rip rather than a bigger rip that a whole toe can fit through. Sometimes we don't fix things as quickly as we could. So something as simple as mending a sock, or something else that is ripped and not discarding it, can really be a big lesson for us. It certainly was for me, because I think we've gotten into a time, and we have for many years, been in this kind of living where it's just easy to throw things out and start all over again. In fact, we do it all the time. We just buy new things, something new comes out, and we get rid of something even though it's still working, but something newer and better has come out. We do it with our electronics all the time. I mean, sometimes within 6 months to a year, what you've got is now considered old. And we discard them without thinking of where that discard is going to go. What trash heap does it end up in? That perhaps I could have used what I had a little bit longer by fixing it or mending it, tending to it, nurturing it, doing something with it, rather than letting it go. In Unity, we always talk about unlimited possibilities, and there are. And sometimes that can take us to a place where we think, well, I don't have to do this or that when it gets problematic, because there's always another possibility. There's always something out there. It's almost like that squirrel syndrome, where you're talking about one thing and you're a squirrel, and all of a sudden you're off on something else, or the new shiny thing is coming up. So this thing over here that's not quite so brilliant now doesn't hold as much fascination as something else that's more sparkly to us. Whether it's a job, a relationship, something going on at home, something with a family member, something that's just starting to grate on us, and we think, oh, I don't have to do this. And you know what? We don't, do we? We could easily walk away. And the more choices we have, the more possibilities that we see, the easier it is to just get up and do something different, rather than deciding that perhaps I have what it takes to stay in, nurture this situation, spend some time with it, try to mend it, try to fix it, try to fix me. That's a novel idea. And see something through. I sometimes think, and I laugh now because I dated a lot of people in my 20s and 30s who didn't like to commit. They were around for the fun, but as soon as things got heavy or complicated, then it was time to go. Because there's, more fish in the sea. So you go find something else. It's easier, better, shinier, newer. And it was easy. And sometimes that's our pattern, to go do something else rather than hunkering down and working on something, working on it. Sure, there are some things that we should walk away from. Yes, there are situations, relationships, jobs, even family relationships that sometimes need to be walked away from because they are untenable or they're so toxic that it's not healthy for us or the other people, other person. And sometimes we still need to dig down a little deeper to make sure we've done everything that we can to try to make a change, to nurture it, to try to fix ourselves or the situation before we walk away. Remember that phrase, give it the old college try? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. See what we're made of. Can we stick through something without sticking and compromising ourselves and letting ourselves be hurt, but also to give something of ourselves to a situation so that we can perhaps heal it and heal ourselves in the process. It's so easy to cut and run before the work. Before the work. Because the work is never fun. Work is never easy. Especially when it comes to looking at a situation, seeing it for what it is, seeing it and seeing ourselves and perhaps what we might have done to drive something in a ditch. And perhaps seeing if there's another person involved, how they might have contributed to driving it into the ditch. And then trying to work together to heal something, whether you heal it and walk away or heal it and stay. We all have the capacity to heal things, to make them better. And just like darning a sock is a skill, we each have the capacity within us to bring healing to whatever it is we're in. Even if you heal and leave, because sometimes it's necessary to heal and leave still. I've had friendships that went bad. I know why they went badly. But I still could not stay in them because perhaps values were violated that made something untenable, and they were violated again and again because you stay in and say, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm not willing to walk away yet. So you try it again. Oops, got violated again. Gave it a third chance. Violated again. And at some point you decide, okay, now I'm done. But you've made an attempt to heal something, to grow it into something beautiful, to allow it to be stronger than it was before. And so we stay in for a time to learn something new about ourselves, our capacity to love, perhaps, to love ourselves or the other person. to love them perhaps where they are, to love ourselves where we are in the middle of a mess. It's hard to love ourselves and somebody else in the middle of a mess. But what great healing can come from hunkering down and being able to see ourselves in a situation and everyone else involved with divine eyes. And perhaps learning something that can take us into the future with so much more strength and understanding. Instead of judging it as broken, opening ourselves up to understanding. As long as we have judgment, we have blocked access to understanding. As long as we have judgment, we have blocked understanding. As long as I say this sock is useless and I don't like it anymore and it no longer serves a purpose for me, I don't get to see that sock as something that can be mended and used again. And perhaps has longer life. As long as I judge someone as unlovable or incapable of loving me, then I don't get to understand where they came from. I remember being in a relationship of mine probably 20, 30 years ago. Well, it's got to be more than 20 now. Probably 40 years ago. Oh my gosh. It was 40 years ago. Oh my God. Yes, I was 2. And not knowing why this relationship wasn't working. And we had probably broken up for the 4th or 5th time. Oh gosh, those were the days. And I met his older brother, and his older brother told me about how they were raised. And I understood then why I was loved the way I was loved in that relationship. And it changed everything. Now, it didn't mean I needed to stay in the relationship, and I did not. Because that's the only way he knew how to love. But I understood that, and I could walk away from the relationship saying, I get that. I get that. But I need something else. And walked away with peace in my heart, peace in his heart, being able to love him where he was, perhaps still is, and knowing that I did all I could, but understanding completely what happened, and understanding that I needed something different and he needed something different. And it changed everything for me in that. I didn't have to hate him. I didn't have to be angry anymore. There didn't have to be negativity between us. I could look at him and I had compassion for the two of us and say, okay, now I understand this. This is different. And it didn't change the situation. It was always like that. I just didn't have that information. I didn't have that information. What if I hadn't stayed in long enough to learn that about him? I've talked about him before, and I did learn a lot about what I didn't want in love from that relationship, which has served me well. So I stayed in as long as it was necessary to stay in to learn my lesson, and then I walked away. It would have been easier to cut and run. earlier on. I've had the same thing with friendships, job situations. Where I thought, okay, I don't want to put up with this. We all get to that point, don't we? I'm just done. I'm not doing this anymore. And we shut off. We just shut everything off and decide, I'm just done. And sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes we need to get there in order to galvanize ourselves to get to something better. But sometimes if we go too quickly, we lose the lesson. And if we lose the lesson and we circumvent the process of the universe, the gift the universe is trying to give us, the gift will find you later. And if it's in a dating situation, you'll find that you're dating the same man with a different face. Different name, met him in a different place. But it's the same thing, same situation. And we sometimes fool ourselves and think this is different all along because it's not the same guy, but it is. It's the exact same dynamic, exact same pattern, but we don't see it. We're judging it, and we don't have any understanding. We don't realize that the common denominator was us. And perhaps there was something within us that needed to change. So how do we know? How do you know whether it's time to stay or go? We have this inner wisdom. This thing that is us. That is us. That's speaking to us and through us all the time. And if we'll get away from our rational minds and allow this to speak and this to guide us, then we can always find truth with a capital T. What is the truth of this situation here? If we'll allow ourselves for just a minute to believe that perhaps we don't know everything about what's happening and that there's something going on that we're not aware of, or something that we could possibly learn in this situation, then we open the door to understanding, divine understanding. We get to see the gift within the chaos. We get to learn something that will propel us forward to a higher level of expression and being within any situation. And sometimes it's not about changing the situation, it's about changing us in the situation. Us being something different within the chaos. And seeing the chaos as something else, as fertile ground for learning and understanding. I was reading something in the magazine Spirituality and Health. It says, in good ways as well as bad, modern Western culture has reinforced the notion that we are always free to go somewhere else. This is a mixed blessing. The sense of freedom and limitless possibility can itself be a trap for the young person who cannot choose among 20 alluring alternative careers, for the spouse in a so-so relationship, for the woman in a stalled job, for the man in a barren stretch in his religion. Such situations need to be worked at and tended to, not necessarily abandoned. The lesson or the reward in them cannot be drawn out otherwise. We need more time sitting on the eggs. More time sitting on the eggs. Like a bird sitting on the eggs waiting for them to hatch. They stay until they hatch or until it's time They put in the incubation period for whatever is supposed to grow and be set free. Be set free out into the world. Our lives, each life situation that we have, we are birthing something in that situation. Greater wisdom, greater love, greater peace. Something is being born in that situation. And Claire McPherson is saying, if we'll sit long enough in a situation, we can give birth to the gift. That's why prayer and meditation is necessary, because we never know when to get off the egg unless we are in tune with that inner GPS that's guiding us. That's the only way we ever know. And to prevent ourselves from going back into a spiral with the same old situation for the same old lesson. Perhaps with a different face. We have those 12 powers: faith, imagination, judgment, life, love, order, power, release, strength, understanding, will, and zeal. Each of them equips us with everything we need to know, how long do I stay on the egg? How long do I stay? And I have found, I don't know, it might be different for you, that if I'm at peace, long as I'm still in peace, sitting on the egg, that's where I should be. If I don't hear that I should move, I stay. Because I know that voice, that still small voice that guides me. And I know when the message should be there, it's clear. And I will hear, I will feel that it's time to get up and move. And I know that if I hear nothing, I stay. I stay. And I know that I will find peace in whatever situation has presented itself. And that I have the wherewithal to be in that situation and have all that I need in it. Have all that I need in it. Doesn't make it pretty necessarily. It doesn't make it comfortable necessarily. But we can have a sense of peace and knowingness that this is where I should be. This is for me, right here, right now. And I am protected, I am guided, I know, I hear, I am in tune, I am one with the same energy that created the heavens and the earth. And this here is for me. And at the same time, I know that when it's time to leave the situation, when I am done, I will know when it is done. And in the leaving, I will have peace, even if it's not pretty, even if it's not comfortable. We can be in the same space. Seems like you wouldn't have one and the other at the same time. So we can be uncomfortable, and things cannot look pretty, and we can be at peace. We can know that this is ours and I have everything I need to be in it fully. To be in it fully. I think that's what life's about. To be in each moment fully. No matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like. That's tough to swallow. Some days. That's tough to swallow. And we get to know that we are not alone. Because we are one with this divine presence that is all-knowing, all-powerful, everywhere. We can't be without it anywhere. Doesn't matter what's going on. We are still one with that power. We are still guided and held. The all good is still all good. All good. So when the going gets tough, sometimes it's time to go, sometimes it's time to stay. Sometimes it's time to reach out. Sometimes we have to be reminded that we're not alone. Sometimes we have to be reminded that it is all good. Again, not that it's pretty, not that it's comfortable, but that it's all good. We are all good. Life is the all good. Let's take this in a meditation. So let's just breathe. Just breathe and be. Allow yourself to tap into that space, that energy, that feeling, where you know you have tapped this resource that we are, this resource that is within us, that is omniscient, omnipotent. Knowing that no matter what we encounter, we are still this strength, this power. Know that with each breath, we are invoking that power once again. Breathing in love. Breathing in peace. Breathing in wisdom. breathing in power. Picture it streaming through every vein, every artery in your body, nourishing every cell. Picture it pumping through your heart. Picture it invigorating your brain. That your vision is divine vision. That there is something that sees all things, something that is within us, that is us, that sees all things, even when our human understanding cannot comprehend. And in that we are protected, and we are prepared. And we are more than capable, we are equipped to handle everything that comes across our path. So let's just be in the quiet together. Let's take a deep breath, breathing in life, peace, harmony, unity, love, and breathing out the same into the world and into our existence, into every area of our lives. Breathe in again. Exhale. Relaxing into this power that is us, expresses through us. Exhale again. Knowing and affirming that at any time we can be in this place of power. Feel all that we are, everything that we have been created to be. Continue to breathe. Continue to know. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So while we are in this place of peace and understanding of who and what we are, let us speak out the names of those for whom we want to pray.
Angel, Molly, Sherry, my friend Cecilia, and my angel Cece. Eddie and Reba.
For Damaris and Cheryl.
Cece and I. Fred.
For Melissa Melinda and PJ. For all of these souls and for all those who have gone unnamed in this moment, but who are in our hearts and minds as we go about our days. We know that they are whole, perfect, and complete. That they too are divine beings with all the power within them to walk the path that they are walking this day. And we lend our power, which is infinite and inexhaustible, to all those in need, who need our prayers, our strength, our comfort, our peace. Amen. So we take this same strength and this knowledge of power and dominion into our celebration of giving. Let's repeat together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, all the good that I give and receive, and so it is.
Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you've made it home. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known, in the kingdom of love. There is no competition, no contradiction, and no control. You can take possession and claim your passion, working on a building that cannot be bought or sold. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you've made it home. Oh, I'm living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. Step into the feeling of sweet surrender. Let yourself remember who you are. You can take your own sweet time and ease your troubled mind in the secret sanctuary of the heart. Living in the house of the soul's belonging, where you know without a doubt that you've made it home. Oh, I'm living in the house of the soul's belonging, coming back to the holy ground that you've always known. There is room for all the kindness you can hold, and you know you can take it with you everywhere you go
bless our offering. We are deeply grateful for all the time, treasure, and talent that flows into this community so that we can do the work that we are called to do here within these walls and out across the world, spreading a message of peace, love, joy, and harmony. Amen. Have the announcements, please, Quentin. So I announced last week, but I want to remind you we're soon going to be reviewing and accepting the newly revised bylaws. So we'll have both of them out to you in the next couple of weeks so that you can look at them, compare old to new, and then we'll have a meeting in late November, early December, so that we can answer any of your questions if you have concerns about anything, and then we can move forward from there and have a vote if we're ready to vote at that time and formally accept them. So in order to vote on those bylaws, you need to be a voting member of this community. So everybody is a member of the family when you walk through the door. However, you can take it to the next level and be able to have the rights of voting members if you become one of those voting members. And so you have an opportunity to do that on October 17, which is next Sunday. So you can vote at membership and special meetings, vote for nominees for the Board of Trustees, vote on any individual capital expenditures that the board brings forward. You can nominate and vote on members of the nominating team. Call a special membership meeting if you think it's warranted. You can vote for the removal of any trustee. You can vote on any matters that are officially presented to the membership by the board. You can offer suggestions. Actually, anybody can offer suggestions to spiritual leader and the board. And you can inspect the minutes, financial statements, and other organizational documents. And we actually open those to anybody, whether you are a voting member or not. So please let me know. Can we go to the next slide, Quentin? Either email me or text me at 618-YES-USCS with your full name, mailing address, mobile number, and email address if you would like to become a voting member. And we're going to have membership Sundays every single quarter. So if you're not ready to do it now, there's opportunities in January, April, July, and October every year. And then that way, if you want to vote on these bylaws, you need to be a voting member, so you can join by next Sunday. And we do our little ritual up here to officially induct you into membership. So, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. We had a great time last night at our concert. Lainey Bernstein and Kent Ellingson, the pianists, were just wonderful, just wonderful. So now our piano's singing again this morning. The piano was happy last night. It's happy again today. Thank you, Tom, very much. Thank you, Kate, for today. And so Kent, who was a pianist last night, he's married to Kay, and she's a wonderful, wonderful singer. They both are the part of the music team at Church of One Love in Farmers Branch. And so Kent told me last night on his way out that they're interested in doing a Saturday night, and they are fabulous. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to having them as soon as we can schedule them on one of our second Saturdays.
We had a wonderful singer this morning.
We did, yeah. So, I mean, the last 12, 16 hours have just been phenomenal in this room. So thank you very much for being here, Tom and Kate. So let's go to our mission and vision. Jan?
Thank you very much for your part of the wonderful happenings here in the last 12 or 15
You are
hours.
welcome.
That was a beautiful message. If you'll join me, please, with our vision and mission. We are Unity Spiritual Center Saxe. We are a thriving global community of spiritual seekers transforming lives through love and the expression of our innately divine gifts. Our mission is to inspire spiritual and personal growth through the teaching and demonstration of unity principles toward the realization of living our best lives. Divine wisdom is at work in every area of our lives right now. Everything is always working out for us. Just remember to stay on that nest until you get the gift out of the chaos.
That's pretty good.
You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And all the trees of the fields will clap their hands. The trees of the fields will clap their hands. The trees of the fields will clap their hands, and you'll go out with joy.
One more time, because y'all are getting it.
You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will shout, clap their hands.
They're going to shout too.
And all the trees of the fields will clap their hands. The trees of the fields will clap their hands. The trees of the fields will clap their hands. And you'll go out with joy. Woo-hoo!
Thank y'all very much.
Have a beautiful Sunday. Have a glorious week. I love all of you. Thank you for making this the best place to be on Sunday morning. Namaste.